So this is our last video talking about similar figures and relating to areas. Here I know that this is really confusing because it says blue and green. I didn't have a color printer on me, so I think this one should be blue and that's supposed to be green. So here we're going to use the given areas to find the scale factor of the blue one to the green one, so left one to the right one, and then we're going to find the value of x there. Okay, so under here they told me the area is 50 inches squared. Area of that one's 72 inches squared. These look like trapezoids. And so let's see. So we're going to look at blue to green. So that's going to be 50 to 72. Okay, so this is the ratio of the areas. What I'm going to say is this is the same as a squared is to b squared, where a over b is your scale factor. We're going to basically solve this for a over b. We're going to get like a over b equals something, and that's going to tell us what our scale factor is. So before we start taking square roots, you always want to reduce your fractions. Let's see, that's 25. That's 36. I just divided the top and bottom by a 2. And so to figure out what a and b, or a over b, is going to be, I'm going to take the square root of the right side, the square root of the left side. The way we take square roots of fractions, square root the top, square root the bottom. Okay, so this is scale factor of blue to green. Alright, so that's the first part of this question. They're saying find the scale factor. Next we need to find the value for x. Okay, so blue to green, so we'll say x to 6 is the same as 5 is to 6. Gee, I wonder what x is going to be. Well, cross multiply and divide if you want to, or if your denominators are the same, your numerators have got to be the same. And I should include inches. Units are important. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on these bottom two. They look like kites. So set it up exactly the same way. Area to area. And notice this is supposed to be colored blue and green. We have to go in the order that they tell us, since they said blue to green. That equals a squared to b squared. Again, you want to usually reduce your fractions. I would say reduce them until you get like a perfect square ratio. That's 20 squared and 8 squared. So I'm going to just go ahead and take square roots as is. So I get square root of 400 is 20. Square root of 64 is 8. That's the same as a to b. Now I'm going to go ahead and reduce what I have. Let's see, 5 over 2, I think. You didn't have to do that. You could have reduced at the beginning. I think you get like 25 over 4 if you do that. I just know a lot of people have a hard time reducing those really big fractions. So here's our scale factor. Okay, part 1 done. Part 2, we're supposed to figure out what's the value for x. So we're going to say blue to green equals scale factor. Now we're going to cross multiply, divide out. Oh, what's that, 16? So those are the two answers that they're looking for. Okay, last example here to get you guys going for the day. Here I have two rectangles that are similar. Alright, so I'm going to draw myself two rectangles. One just bigger than the other one, since they're similar. They told me the area of the first one and the area of the second one. They're asking me to find perimeter of the second one. Just remember, perimeter, like if you look at the ratio of perimeters, that's the same as the scale factor. So I'm going to say A over here equals 36 meters squared. A over here is 169 meters squared, and this is basically going to work out like the other two problems. The difference here is we're going to find the perimeters by solving a proportion without even knowing any of the side lengths. So we're going to say area to area equals a squared to b squared. And just like before, take square roots. We should remember our squares. That's the same as 6 squared. That's the same as 13 squared. Okay, so here's our scale factor. Okay, well, why is that important for perimeters? Well, we've already talked about this before. Just to remind you, if two figures are similar with scale factor a to b, ratio of perimeters is also a over b. So 6 to 13 is the same as a to b. I know the perimeter of the first one is 18. I don't know the perimeter of the second one. I'm going to go ahead and solve for that perimeter without even knowing any of the sides, without using any formulas, and it's going to be kind of convenient. So I'll leave that as 13 times 18. And 6 goes into 18 3 times. So I get a perimeter of 39 meters. So this is the perimeter of the second rectangle. Okay, so things just to be really careful of: make sure you set up your proportions correctly. Make sure you square scale factor if you're working with areas. Make sure you do not square the scale factor if you're not working with areas. If you keep those in mind, I think you'll be okay on all those questions on the check for understanding and the homework and the assessment.